Hi guys, Jake and MJ, back again for more live reactions to Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Throw them away, it's been a while guys, good to see you again. Back for more Beast Morphers.
No spoilers, more now than ever. Yeah,
yes,
y'all.
no spoiling.
Because some of y'all are ahead of us.
Yes, we know that the final episodes of Beast Morphers have been aired internationally. It took quite a bit of soul searching to decide whether or not we wanted to take advantage of that for live reactions. We noticed that a good number of reviewers were reviewing the international episodes, and I was just seeing spoilers popping up all over the place.
Exactly, Sean. The spoilers are out there, so we gotta get through this fast.
I want to say this to anyone out there who might be in the process of reviewing these episodes and hasn't finished yet.
That's not an question.
If you happen to be watching this, I want to give you a piece of advice. Don't put spoilers in your thumbnails, because it's going to make people angry at you. Don't put spoilers in your thumbnails. Like, that seems like a straightforward thing.
Don't put spoilers in
Don't
your
put
thumbnails.
spoilers in your thumbnails. Like, that's
really?
not nice. It's not cool.
Are you serious, Sir Paladin?
What's that? Oh, he said cue Nickelodeon announcing
he's joking. Okay.
It would be really funny if we started doing this week, and then next week they say, oh, by the way, the show's coming back.
Vac says he did black them out, so I don't think we're talking about you, Vac.
Yeah. Which is nice. We appreciate that.
Yes, we definitely appreciate that. So,
like, I'm fine with people having spoilers in their videos. That's perfectly reasonable.
In the videos,
just don't put them in the thumbnails. That's just
I have not
rude.
been spoiled. Jake has run across a few.
Yeah.
I'm so tangential to the fandom.
Yeah.
That I have escaped.
Yeah, you don't follow
completely.
the same people that I do. You don't watch the same videos that I do, so things
I don't get
pop
things
up
recommended
like that.
to me that have anything to do with Power Rangers, because we watch all of that out of Jake's account.
Exactly. So we managed to keep those lines pretty well separate.
Yeah, we actually don't have much overlap in our subscriptions.
Yeah. So welcome everyone to our chat. It's great to see you again. I know that plenty of you have been with us throughout our fortnightly Friday Toku reactions, but it's great to also have those of you back who have been waiting for us to get back to Power Rangers. So we're happy to be able to get back into it a little bit early. Outside of the spoiler aspect, it also just felt like, hello buddies, we got the kitties here. It also felt just like it was going to work better for our schedule, because I don't know what teaching is going to be like in the fall, and I wanted to limit how many different commitments I have in the fall, so hopefully this will make it a little bit more reasonable.
Yes, Daniel, we are watching online an international broadcast, however, as we do when we watch
whenever we watch any sort of international programming, we trust you to find it for yourselves.
Our hat where we got it from, because
we don't want
anybody getting in trouble.
Exactly. And we were able to Google it and find it. I'm sure you can as well. So I'm looking forward to.
Vac says the Toei thing got debunked.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.
Okay, that's it. I told you I was going to have to take this off at some point. I already have to take it off.
Yeah, it's like 90 degrees today. So yeah, we figured this would work better with our schedule, and beyond that, this week's my birthday.
And Jake wanted to watch Power Rangers.
I want to watch some Power Rangers.
It's not just this week.
It's my birthday.
His birthday.
I will bleep that out. in post.
In post.
But thank you very much.
Happy birthday week to you.
There we go.
Happy
this week is my birthday.
To you.
That was why I was being very non-specific.
Well, pardon me.
Internet.
Sorry.
So thank you very much.
Jake has to go outside for his birthday? I mean,
that's not really what I want to do.
We go outside.
Have you been outside?
In the wilderness.
It's terrifying.
Try to avoid other people, because, you know, the thing that's happening, but
I'm assuming that's
outside.
Actually a Dr. K reference.
Oh! I thought it was a reference to the whole stay-at-home thing.
Yeah. I mean...
He's allergic to the sunlight. Yep, definitely a K reference. He's got goggles.
Have you seen the world this year?
Actually, around here, outside does stink. We have a skunk.
It comes and goes. It's annoying.
Yeah, he's around sometimes, then he's gone, and then
But
he's there.
thank you very much to everyone for the birthday wishes. I appreciate them greatly. And I think that this will be a fun way to celebrate things. Now, I have been trying to... Now, there are a few little updates as far as life. One of the big ones for me is that I'm finally done with grad school.
You're not
grad
just
school
done.
is done. I nailed my final paper.
Yes, you did.
And I have officially received confirmation of my graduation. My degree will be arriving within 3 weeks.
Yeah,
so that is excellent.
They're not doing a real graduation.
Which, of course not.
We're confirmed. It's on the way.
So that means that I've fulfilled all my requirements for my, not just my initial, but also my professional teaching certification. And as of this week,
Your math cert, too.
I took care of 3 standardized tests to get my college credit out of the way for my math certification. So this next week, I'm going to take another certification exam, and within a few weeks, I should have all the results on that, and I'll be double certified.
3 separate...
I took 3 standardized tests on one day, and got perfect scores on all 3, because they were multiple choice, so they did auto.
Because you're ridiculous.
And it was wonderful. That was wonderful. That was a good feeling.
You don't have to call him Master Jake, but you can, because he has a master's.
I do. I do now. I don't physically have my master's.
Jake is a math god. I make him do all the math around here.
But now I'll actually be certified in math, which is going to be great.
Yes! It's a hat trick.
Exactly. That was a hat trick.
Any updates on 90?
90?
Come on, we just put out the trailer for 89!
Well, that was the other big thing this week. Just last night, we put out the trailer for episode 89 of Power Reviews, so you can watch that and find out what our next episode is going to be and when it'll be coming out, which will be very soon. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys after it comes out. I'm thinking of maybe doing a premiere, because I know that that's a thing that YouTube now.
Ice cream, they say. Well, you know, going out, not great in this...
I should definitely have some ice cream.
If we go out for ice cream, we should totally go to that outdoor place.
Oh, yeah. We haven't been there in a long time.
We can go to the outdoor place, get soft serve.
But I am hoping, because 89 and 90 are very closely tied together, they're functionally a two-parter, much like 79 and 80 were.
And I didn't get it, because I'm stupid.
It's okay.
Rusters? No. It's not a chain. It's a one only place that's around here. So unless you're really local, you wouldn't recognize it anyway, which is why I didn't bother with the name.
But it is looking like hopefully I'll be able to get 90 out by the end of the summer. 79 and 80 are very much like a two-parter, just like 79 and 89 and 90 are very much a two-parter, just like 79 and 80 were. So I'm very much looking forward to 89 coming out. I'm still working on finalizing some of the CG assets. I took care of a big one, and I've been just kind of inserting a ton of effects. They're not like super complex, but it just takes a while to just do them all because there's so many of them. And
it's the rendering.
There's a lot of rendering going on. There's a big one that I'm working on right now that I just finished up the design for today, so it should actually be workable for coming out. And yes, I'm the only person doing it. I am a one-man team in that regard.
And there's only one machine doing it.
Exactly, that's one of the limits. So I can only multitask
he can't
so
be
much.
doing other things, because this is just the one machine. I mean, aside from writing scripts, because you can do that on the
right, which is what I intend to do tomorrow while this is exporting.
Yeah, you can always write scripts on this while things are rendering, but he can't edit or anything like that, because all the video editing software is on the same computer as the
CG software, and it just takes up so much. I try to double task where I can. It's tasking for my computer.
But yes, Vac, we're very big into supporting our local shops, especially when it comes to dairy food and apples. Yeah. Because that's like
upstate New York.
Upstate New York is big into cows and apples. So when you eat the cows and well, not the cows.
So I am making an effort to sort of standardize a little bit in how I'm running the channel. I'm going to see how things go in this next month, and then I should be able to have some sort of plan in place for how things will be coming out during the school year.
Oh, for Pete's sake!
What's that?
Caramel Yellow's got COVID.
Oh. Sorry to hear that. After they already took... Oh, Q Ranger Yellow. Q Ranger Yellow.
Q Ranger Yellow. Okay.
So it's not the same cast.
Okay,
so they don't need to go into break again. But it is unfortunate that
is.
Kajiki Yellow, Spada, his actor, has
COVID.
apparently got COVID. So that's unfortunate.
I misread that as
So you may have noticed I finally decided to start doing thumbnails for these.
Yes.
I'm gonna try. I'm trying to be more responsible with in terms of taking care of the channel moving forward, because now that I finished grad school, like I'm starting to settle into regular life.
Yeah.
Like teaching plus YouTube, I've got to balance it out.
That's a 2 thing. It used to
and
be
so I've got no more excuses.
And student. That was 3 things. Now you're only juggling 2 things.
And I will admit, I do think it's weird that all of these episodes aired early, internationally, but you know what? I'm not going to complain today, because I get to have some Power Rangers on my birthday week. And
I don't understand why French priests sweat a lot in Home Depot.
You know what? I'm not going to worry about it.
Okay.
That was a strange comment, and I do want to actually do this.
We are watching.
We are going to start watching these episodes.
The episodes that are airing. So
we've also started a new tradition, because we're already like 10 minutes in. We got to get this right.
Oh yes, we do.
We have started over the course of the Toku of our fortnightly featured Toku reactions. We started a new tradition that not everyone might be in on. So if you are in on it, feel free to join in on the chat. We have a total of 6 non-controversial phrases. Phrases that we believe should be non-controversial. So we
3 of them at the top,
and 3 at the end. So we'll start off with our first 3, which we believe should be equally non-controversial. First up, Black Lives Matter. Next up, fascism is bad. And number 3, superheroes are fun. All of which should be equally non-controversial statements. So, with that all out of the way, and maybe next time you guys in the chat can join us in saying those 3 phrases together. I think it is time for us to kick off episode 32 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers, the Evox Snare. And
I assume they mean snare like trap and not snare like drum.
Ooh, where's the volume? Oh, there it goes.
Since they do now know he's coexisting with...
My dad and Evox are in the same body.
Yeah, exactly.
The Evox Snare. Alright, let's see what's happening now. We got our quick little teaser there.
Dustin, I'm not sure, but Vac was saying something about that.
Oh, she's got an announcement for the crowd. Oh, they've got a big
going public.
Therefore, effective immediately, the towers will be shut down, and the Morph-X will be returned to the Morph-X, where Evox cannot reach it.
Oh, wow.
The old power system will be turned on temporarily. Thank you.
Oh, that is smart and responsible, and I like it.
A banned episode? But
how can we know Evox didn't put some kind of malware into the system?
Yeah.
We don't know that. That's why we're doing this.
I mean, they've established they're not good at internet cybersecurity.
Hi, Sid.
Always good to see you.
I like Sid.
Alright, shutting things down.
For months, Evox has been using the mirror's body to appear to be human. But we know that human DNA corrupts his fibers.
That's true.
By calculation, such a lengthy exposure has made him very dependent on Morph-X to survive.
That makes sense.
He'll need lots of it.
But when he realizes that the city supplies are going away, he'll get desperate.
It's a good plan.
We think that he'll show up in person.
And that's when we hit and trap him with this. A hyper-freeze arrow.
Hyper-freeze arrow? Okay.
Seriously?
I've made a new weapon formation, the Beast-X Ultra Cannon.
Yep.
It's perfect to shoot the arrow at Evox.
I hope you have more than one of these arrows. What if you miss?
Oh, that's interesting. They combined the Beast-X Ultra Bow and the Ultra Blaster.
Well, they must have more than one arrow since they're
See, there's the blaster attached. That's an interesting look.
On
they converted it from a bow to a crossbow.
I'm all for it. Okay, you gotta load your crossbow.
Nice.
That's and then let
They-
go. So
And it's a super freeze arrow. Okay, cool.
I assume they have more than one then.
It's workable.
They just used it.
No way out.
The volume ain't up on your computer. Can you even hear it? Yeah, we can hear it.
Yeah.
And we're not watching on a computer. We're watching on TV.
Well, we're computer connected to our TV.
Fair enough.
Yikes. We have to get it out. Perfect.
You
Why?
It's not gonna break.
Have you considered microwaving?
Why?
Wide open, baby boy.
I mean, I suspect this isn't legit ice. Okay. What? No. What? No. No. No.
And apparently that's subflooring. There's another floor below.
No.
Or a cavern.
Okay. I'm gonna go with that's their subterranean pillow storage, because otherwise they should be dead.
I haven't figured that part out.
I figure we'll just put him in an ice block, figure it out later. Your dad will be fine.
Well, they can put them on cryo at least. They've still got the tubes.
And how long would it take to find a safe way to save my dad?
It's a good question.
It's difficult to do. It could take a long time. My dad could be frozen. Forever. I didn't say forever.
Not forever.
That's what I have.
Nobody
That's
said
not gonna
forever.
happen. Hey, I've been working around the clock to find a way to stop him.
Yeah, he's trying.
But there's only so much I can do. There has to be another way. If you won't find it,
There has to be another way besides buying ourselves some time.
Yeah.
Nate, the high freeze arrow is good work. Get the decoy truck ready.
Seriously?
I am amused at how he seems to have gone very much for how, for this, technology delivered via arrow approach. A little hand on the shoulder.
I'm seeing shades
Sign
of
of
Zelda.
Towers will be shut down, and the Morph-X will be returned to the morphing grid.
Will make
Okay,
his
so
father the
he's-
coolest man
No more Morph-X.
He's annoyed.
Morph-X reserves are very low.
Devin needs an immediate solution. Well, yeah, there isn't an immediate solution, so the next best thing is buy ourselves more time.
Those towers are empty.
I mean, for all we know, buy ourselves more time just means buy
Yeah,
ourselves
you
a
two are
week.
gonna get blown up again. Rangers, bow.
At this point, they're basically Kenny
Go,
from
go,
South
Power
Park.
Rangers, bow. Go, burner, dun, go. It's morphin' time. For justice we fight, with peace morphin' might. Together we rise. Bow, wow, 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 wow. Go, go, Power Rangers, go, go, Power Rangers. Power Rangers, based Morphers.
I can't do the
And we do not have our commercial breaks.
Right,
Since
because we are.
this is a recorded
using
version.
The recording of the
Um,
international airing. Exactly.
Devin
Dana.
is
Buying
researching.
themselves time is the first step.
Aw, tronic trouble at the rally. He's remembering when his dad get... Oh, we get a little flashback
No,
to his
Devious,
dad.
it's not back. We're watching a copy of the international.
Worked at a car wash.
We're utilizing the international airings. Because the internet is an international service.
And everybody's getting ahead of us.
It's we were getting too much spoilers. And
They're on a boat.
I wanted to do something fun for my birthday.
Yes, Sir Paladin, that does mean there will be no sudden SpongeBob panic.
That is true.
hey, find anything? Maybe.
I like that Nick's helping out. Or not Nick. That Cruz is helping out. So many names. I almost called him Jag for a moment there too.
Great. Then you need to speak to her. I tried, but I've only been hurt a couple times over the past decade. So far, no response.
So it's 10 years since RPM for them?
If Dr. K can't help, we don't have a choice.
Um,
We have to try and freeze Evox.
I mean, I knew she was going to show up at some point.
Yeah.
That was one spoiler I did have because of Olivia's IMDb page.
Go ahead.
I
The decoy truck is moving
did
out.
not realize that was happening in this episode.
I did not realize that they're in the same universe.
I'm gonna need to rewatch. Oh, the bulldozer. Hey, cool.
If he's just talking about no one's, she's very rarely been seen in the last 10 years. They're in the same universe.
We need to re-examine that scene
RPM is in a
at the end of
different
this.
universe.
At the end of this episode, we will re-examine that scene for details. There may be more follow-up. It may be that she had. It may be a connection that.
Oh, Devin did say she's from another universe.
Okay, he did say that. He did say that.
History.
Sorry, we were. You were talking to the chat, and so I didn't hear until I saw the image, and I'm like, wait, what?
Okay. These guys are just. They have apparently a knowledge of quote unquote interdimensional history. We're good. That stuff has been established before. That's why it's so hard to get contact probably. It's the whole of the universe.
Also, like, she may have been a little busy the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, not actually in her home universe at the time because she was
busy.
Rooming with the
Phantom. This is another reason I need to see these episodes. I want to know whether they are hurting my continuity. I need to know.
Thank you, Vac. Vac stomped a spoiler that I didn't even see.
Good job. We appreciate that.
Yeah, actually, rotisserie no spoilers is a rule, and Vac here must be ahead of us, and he's thankfully protecting us from spoilers. Thank you, Vac.
Yeah. Like, just be cautious, be aware. If you get sloppy, that'll be a problem.
You got another thing coming.
Oh, nice.
You guys finish him. I'll go help
I am so intrigued. My mind.
Cheetah mode.
Yep. I'm a little disappointed that the others don't have that same sort of thing where they transform into their animals, because that'd be cool. Like, Devin's is awesome. It is a shame that Zoe doesn't also, like, turn into a crazy energy rabbit, because that would be really entertaining.
Should have minded your own business.
No, we can't let them do the Morph-X. Hey, Steel, you guys okay?
Nate and Steel did not do too well against Blaze and Roxy this time.
Better luck next time, Rangers.
That's about to...
Me too, Devious.
Oh, are you
It's
about
stuck
to...
in my head since I pulled the shirt out of the drawer.
Oh, man.
Danger! Did you really have to blow up a perfectly good truck?
It was necessary to take out Blaze and Roxy.
I mean, it works.
Blaze and Roxy are eliminated.
Good work, Rangers. But I have bad news. Tower 5 had a system failure. We cannot drain it.
Then we've got to protect it.
Okay.
Too much attention. We'll leave it totally unguarded. Evox will think it's empty just like all the others.
You'll never suspect it's actually full of
Thank you.
Morph-X.
Correct.
Okay.
I want each of you.
It makes my
Tower 5 is full.
So Scrozzle knows now. He was paying attention.
She knows he knows, though.
Oh, it's all part of the trap.
Guys, good news. Scrozzle took the bait.
Good
Yes,
trap,
it
good
was
smart,
bait.
good smart bait.
Then Evox is in for a big surprise.
Go ahead. We've detected an incoming Gigadrone. It's headed for tower number 5.
Of course it is.
Deploy the Ranger Zords. Wait, there's something else. We've received a strange message. We think it might be trans-dimensional.
89 update would be the trailer came out.
Dr. K, she responded.
Whoa, okay, okay.
Devin needs to take that call.
Now keep in mind, our show does utilize a lot of temporal disruption, so
Thanks to new Zord combination.
I can potentially still work with this. Let's see what happens.
Nate, come back to the base. Complete the second hyper-freeze hour to use
Oh,
Evox
man.
when it attacks Tower 5.
Roger that.
Move out.
Let's go.
I want to see how this is handled. I am intrigued by how this is handled. I'll sort of spiked up a little bit. Been rather quiet until now. It's a little bit of a different...
Music.
Yeah.
Here come our swords. Quick,
It's nice.
let's go.
Oh, my. How are you handling Dr. K? Like, this has been 10 years. I had been using the character for so long. I did not think, up until I got the spoilers for this season, I did not think that Power Rangers was going to return to Dr. K.
I didn't think so either until I accidentally saw Beast Morphers on Olivia's IMDb page.
Right.
But I GTFO'd from there fast. So
Yeah.
I didn't see
How many episodes?
how many
are there?
episodes or what the episode names were. She's attractive now? She was attractive before. What are you talking about?
Nice. I forget how much we've seen of the Beast X King Megazord. I don't remember if
They showed
we've...
Devin in the cockpit instead of Steel.
Over
Interesting.
the course of months, human biorhythms and anatomy were metamorphosed into robotic structures with electronic impulses.
I'm sorry, Dr.
Okay.
K, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
What I'm saying is, what happened to Ranger Black is very different to what's happened to your father. I'm sorry, but none of my technology can help you.
She's out of her uniform.
She is.
He's my dad. There must be something.
And I think somebody other than her cut her hair this time.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I read something.
Okay.
A ranger named Zenowin was trapped in the body of the evil Doomwing. To separate them, his team developed devices called split emitters.
Split emitters. Tell me more.
You're bringing Dino Charge into this. Oh my! You're using the continuity.
This hyper freeze arrow is ready.
Yeah, I'm so happy for her.
Let's go.
She's finally out of that school uniform.
Perfect timing. That gave
Seriously,
me
she had the
choice.
ability at any time to get
I
different
know.
clothes.
I know.
It was a psychological hang-up.
I know.
She must be past it.
When he shows up, we'll be waiting.
Unless you found another way.
Do a Dr. K voice? What did you want me to say?
Ranger tape, you're both right. I use it as a basis for developing a lot of our
Yes,
technology.
she's got a necklace on.
For something called
She's got like earrings, I think.
I couldn't see her ears.
Yeah, they should be in there.
But yeah, she's 10 years older.
But
Yep.
honestly, I have no idea what to do. Dr. K thinks they might be able to split my dad. Really?
This is just so weird to me.
Why haven't you left for Tower 5? You need to go. Now.
The show hasn't done this in so long, and it's so weird.
I love it, I love it, I love it.
I know.
I'm not sure they actually recreated the lab. It could be green screen,
Split emitters?
since she's just sitting in front of the camera.
That's what we did.
Here. This might power them up. Thanks. Let's go.
I really want to see how they continue to utilize Dr. K,
Yes,
Moving
exactly,
forward.
Scott.
Free. I could really use a hand.
because I suspect this isn't
Absolutely.
this is not the extent of it.
Just like Gemma was functioning better in Dimensions in Danger.
We could
Right.
buy something called split emitters.
Split emitters.
Well, I've never heard of them.
What do they look like?
Whoa. Okay, Trevor Trove. Hello.
Trevor?
Treasure Trove.
This old Ranger stuff might just save my dad.
Wait, so
That's
That's a Thundermax Blaster.
that is a Thundermax blaster.
Oh, this is a morpher.
Mystic Morphers.
Mystic Morphers?
Why do you have Mystic Morphers?
Cell shift morphers.
Cell shift morphers? Why do you have cell shift morphers?
Jake, they have everything!
Why do you have everything?
Are these guys Hexagon?
Found them.
What? Why do you have interdimensional Power Ranger gear? What is happening?
This is one beam. The theory is before beams cross, they can
Do not tell them. Okay. Yeah, okay. No, chat, do not tell us if you actually know. Thank you back.
Right.
With this Morph-X.
I'm
And then what? Listen closely. I'll tell you exactly what to do.
I am bewildered by what's happening right now. And it makes sense too, because like this is supposedly
Don't worry.
Chip's last season as showrunner. it is his last season as showrunner, and he's calling back to his other seasons that he's worked on, because he worked on RPM. And Dino Charge was his big return, so it's like, oh my...
What year did RPM air?
2009. It's been over 10 years.
One of the only ones that I could actually answer, and you did it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm very much in...
Yeah!
Oh, that's not good.
No, that's not good. Guys, duck.
Look out, look
Duck,
out, look
it's
out.
coming back!
What? It exploded?
exploded.
That's not what that arrow does.
I was going to
okay.
expect one of them to be frozen.
I will take it. You can't stop me. Wrong! You're not going anywhere. Not with my father inside you.
So what's separating them going to do? Is he going to just go back to being normal Evox body or something else?
Simon Bennett and Chiplin will be working together, but Chiplin's not the showrunner. Simon Bennett is.
Yes.
He needs Morph-X to live. If you stop him from getting
It's only been 11 years.
you're destroying him and me.
This is very crazy.
That's not your dad talking. Don't listen. Devin,
He's good.
please, son.
I like how it's got that little extreme logo back there for Morph-X Tower 5. No, he's just buying time so that Ben and Betty can do their thing.
Are Ben and Betty going to actually succeed in saving the day?
They are. They're going to do
Please
it.
don't mess it up.
They're going to
Ben
use
and
the
Betty.
split emitters.
Ben and Betty. Ben
He
and
knows
Betty.
what's
Ben
happening.
and Betty. Ben and Betty.
Transport.
Nice.
What's going on?
Right into the spot.
Good birthday present so far, Jake?
Oh yeah, big time. I can't believe they're doing this. This is crazy.
Dad, are you okay? Much better. Thanks.
I'm feeling good. I'm alright.
Everybody else, please like to attack. Really? You're just going to let Scrousel pick him up?
So now what?
Yep, they just let Scrousel take him home. Nobody tried to stop that.
Rest assured, the Morph-X network is once again safe. And the Power Rangers will make sure it stays there.
So
Communication ended.
did they check everything? Is everything okay?
How is affiliated with Morph-X?
We did find traces of the Evox virus, but the system is clear now.
So
Do you
yes.
remember
That's
anything
it?
about
Okay.
Morph-X? What he did, maybe?
Hey,
What he's planning to do in the future?
these guys aired before Pokemon.
Interesting. Oh wait. Oh, we're getting a little flashback on here.
There was an explosion.
So he's remembering how he got infected with
There was
Evox.
something wrong with my hands. After that, it was all a blur. Until the moment you saved me.
Actually,
So the last
our plan was a failure.
several
The only
months.
reason you're standing here right now is because of Devin.
It's true.
Never gave
And
up.
Dr. K!
And them for some reason having Dino Charge gear, which baffles me.
In the closet.
That's the same the other.
Why do you have Dino Charge gear? Why do you have all of
Just
that?
hanging out in the closet.
Oh, they're using it to get their dummy out of.
This side?
Those things better work.
No, I don't mean
That's my
Velma.
favorite tuxedo.
What's happening? What is happening? Oh, is he just gonna end up in his underpants? What? Oh, it went in reverse. No, what's happening now? What? Now Ben's in there. That's not how that should work. Oh you.
Have I been promoted?
Nope. Now you see, that was good use of Ben and Betty right there. I appreciate that guy. Oh man, wow. I can't believe that they actually did that. That bewilders me. Oh, that just
Faye's
opened
just
up
like,
a
hey,
whole...
I read about something, and they're just like, hey, we've got it in the closet.
That just opened up a whole can of worms.
Like, I believe that Kay read about it. I'm just like, you've got it in the closet?
Yeah, that was weird. I assumed that they were going to try and call up the Dino Charge Rangers but apparently not. Okay, I'm rewinding right now.
Spencer wants to know if your brain's okay.
I'm gonna mute this for a moment so I can find the thing. But like,
Are we going back to the Dr. K scene?
because we were not paying the closest of attention at that
when
moment.
he talks about Dr. K first. Okay.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so I want to see this scene again.
Anytime.
Okay,
Hey, Robbie.
just like quick little thing from Cruz. That's
Hey, find anything?
okay.
Maybe. There was a Black Ranger once. In another dimension.
Yeah.
He was slowly turning into an evil cyborg.
Okay.
Their lead scientists found a way to stop the process. Her name was Dr. K.
That's so crazy.
Great. Then you need to speak to her.
I tried, but she's only been heard from a couple times over the past decade. So far, no response.
Look.
That explains why she's only been heard from a couple times in the past decade, though. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's hard to communicate across dimensions.
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives me that little bit of clarity on that. It basically amounted to what we thought. But oh man, this is I.
Can we see Kay again? Can we see Kay again?
Want me to go back to the scene where she shows up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to see Kay again.
Yeah. Well, here's one of the things. Here's an important thing to note. Okay. The timeline of Power Reviews is very malleable. And as I've established before, Grid Defense does feature K. So the idea is that is, supposed to be in continuity. If you've seen Power Rangers Grid Defense, you know that Jeffrey makes a specific reference to a specific incident from Power Reviews regarding Dr. K. It is set in 2019. What I am curious about is whether or not this will definitively make reference to if Dr. K is familiar with powers that are analogous to the Beast Morphers' powers. Because that will determine whether or not Grid Defense can exist contemporaneously with Beast Morphers as a separate universe story.
As the alternate universe.
Like, this basically determines...
is an alternate universe.
Yeah, this determines whether or not Grid Defense can exist as the alternate universe Beast Morphers.
Counterpart of Beast Morphers.
So let's see that Dr. K bit again.
I mean, she probably doesn't talk to people too much, but she probably talks to people more now. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
And she's out of her uniform, and she's wearing jewelry, and she's...
So that was the explosion of the Gigadrone. So
Over
let's...
the course of months, human biorhythms and anatomy were metamorphosed into robotic structures with electronic impulses.
I'm sorry, Dr. K, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
What I'm saying is, what happened to Ranger Black is very different to what's happened to your father. I'm sorry, but none of my technology can help you.
Please. He's my dad. There must be something.
A few years ago, I read
You can't see
something.
her ears.
A ranger named Zenowing was trapped in the body of the evil Doomwing. To separate them, his team developed devices called split emitters.
Split emitters. Tell me more.
Now let's see if they say anything else about this vault. I want to double check to make sure we didn't miss anything about this information, because this is fascinating.
730 is ready to go. We'll have one chance.
That's all we need.
This is so crazy that they decide to suddenly do this.
Perfect timing. That Gigadrone is toast, so the only way that Evox is going to get Morph-X neutralified is to do it himself.
Like,
When he shows up, we'll be waiting.
Unless
Grid Defense
found another way.
could definitely have K from after this meeting.
Nate, you have old Ranger tech in your boat, right?
provided that there's nothing establishing this in a specific year.
I'm looking for something.
And that
Grid
is-
Defense is specifically June of 2019.
And that's the kind of thing we're looking for right now.
Yeah, they should be in there. somewhere.
Oh, wait.
But
Because
honestly,
you
I
just
have
spoke up, I just missed
Sorry.
Dr.
the
K
thing I
thinks
was...
they might be able to split my dad in Evox.
About 10 seconds.
Yeah, they should. I use it as a basis for developing a lot of art.
Won't be late.
Unless you found another way. I'm working on it. Nate, you have old Ranger Tech for your boat, right?
Okay.
I use it as a basis for developing a lot of our technology. I'm looking for something called split emitters. Split emitters? Yeah, they should be in there somewhere. But honestly, I have no idea what to do. Dr. K thinks they might be able to split my dad in Evox. Really?
Okay.
Rangers, what's your status?
There we go.
Why haven't you left for Tower 5? You need to go. Now.
Chris, we were just talking about grid
Yeah.
defense. It's okay for Sherry to talk about grid defense.
Yeah, grid defense is fine. Grid defense is from, that... I created grid defense myself. It's okay to talk
What
about
we're
it.
actually discussing right now is whether or not Kay's appearance in this episode messes with grid defense.
I don't believe it necessarily does, because there was nothing...
It looks like it doesn't.
There was nothing stating that... There's nothing that specifically excludes her from coming up with her own parallel universe version of Beast Morphers, which would be grid defense. Except for just the fact that these are both... that there's collaboration, apparently, between the two universes, by virtue of them having cell-shift morphers.
Grab the cold thing.
Okay. So this is fascinating. This is changing everything about how this show goes. Now note, I will make note, I have not finished filming and writing every single scene of Power Reviews yet, so there is some room for me to make adjustments in the final episodes of the series. Like, up through 95 is pretty much locked in. In terms of, there's too much stuff in those episodes that's already been filmed, and I can't really mess around with up through 95. However, there's still...
Yeah, that wasn't even Corinth. You're totally right, Dustin.
Oh, what, as far as driver's seat? Yeah, they referred to it as Corinth, but it didn't visually look like Corinth.
Rotisserie said it, and Dustin hates it. And are we going to watch another episode or leave it off here?
We're sticking to one episode
a week
per
now.
stream. So we'll be doing one episode a week. I'm going to be very fascinated to see where this goes, because at the rate at which things were going, I did not think that Power Rangers would come back to Dr. K before we finished with her.
Yes.
But then again, I never thought they were going to use Go Busters as source footage, so apparently everything's on the table.
Yeah, she was definitely actually being empathetic to Devin there.
Yes, she's...
Which is further evidence of the fact that over the past 10 years, she's done a lot of work on her psychological damage.
Well, we have put her through the ringer over these last 7.5 years.
Fair enough.
What we've done to Dr. K's character has just been brutal. What we've done to all of our characters has been pretty cruel.
This is your brain on RPM.
Now,
I love RPM.
Now, I've been very fixated on the use of continuity in this
That's
episode.
true, they did name drop Sledge.
In the first episode, yep.
Yes.
They made reference to Sledge, Galvanax, and Rita Repulsa. So
This episode was not a clip show, Devious.
This episode was not a clip show. This episode made use of continuity in ways that I did not think that the show was ever really going to do again. Because, let's face it, the only thing that
Lol rotisserie.
I'll scale that back a little bit.
Grid Battle Force.
We have seen things somewhat similar in the past. We saw Sledge come back at the beginning and end of Ninja Steel. Or at the beginning and end of Super Ninja Steel. And obviously, Super Mega Force had various references to the past. But this is the most specific that I think I have ever seen the show with its past references in, over 20 years.
That's pretty cool.
Like,
That's
well,
pretty
correction.
cool.
No, I would say since Forever Red. No, not Forever Red. Not Forever Red. Since Dino Thunder. I'll take it back. This is the most specific that I feel like it's gotten with its plot-relevant references since Dino Thunder.
I'm not sure what you're asking me, James.
What was the question?
Based on what we saw, what U.S. air date would we give if we were Nickelodeon?
Oh, what, aim for, like, around August 28th? I'm not exactly sure, how days play out. Try to get it near the anniversary. That would be fun if they did that. I forget how
I like this shirt, but I
how the
don't like the
calendar-
way the V-neck keeps messing up on me.
I'd have to take a look at the calendar, because my brain is, like, so fried right now, I can't just do the math in my head for what...
They melted us a little.
That took me for a loop, because I knew that it was coming, but I didn't know it was coming in this episode. The 28th is going to be a Friday this year. So, I don't know, maybe they'll bring it back on the 29th. We'll see.
The 28th is a Friday.
Yeah, that's what I just said. So, anyway.
Brain.
So fixated on the continuity stuff. Let's talk about the episode itself a little bit. I do feel like we didn't get much as far as what Evox's long-term game plan was.
No, not
This was very focused on capturing Evox and rescuing Mayor Daniels, which is fine. That kept it on target, and those plans were handled well, and with a shocking level of respect for what the existing in this universe makes available to them. It was done in a way that built out the universe. The Rangers and Grid Defense with Commander Shaw, they were working in sync. They worked smart. These were all good things. Ben and Betty were utilized in a competent, assistive way, and actually had a pretty funny final scene, I thought, because it wasn't something that necessitated, like, it wasn't something built around physical damage to them. It was a, sci-fi wackiness in a genuinely wacky way that made sense with the technology. I was fine with that. And I like that we called back to a form of technology that had been developed in the past, but that was great. This episode just opened up such a can of worms, though, and I have no idea where it's going from here. Because this just blew open the whole world of the show.
Yeah, they've got a closet full of Power Rangers gear.
They've got a closet full of Power Rangers gear and Dr. K on Skype. So, Zoom. They had the ability to Zoom with Dr. K, and they have a whole closet full of Power Rangers gear. Which,
they could just zoom another dimension whenever they want, apparently.
Yeah, this firmly establishes them as having connections to other dimensions, as well as to past Ranger teams. And it was opened up in such a...
Pretty funny, Chris. That would have been funny.
An unusual way. It was a need-based way that they opened up continuity. Not in the usual... This was very different from how continuity is generally handled in Power Rangers. When we make references to the past, it's usually either, a little, side reference that doesn't impact the plot, which, obviously, this was pop.
This was
very plot relevant.
Those splitters were super plot.
They were key to the plot. So that's one thing.
Transmental contact may be tricky, but it's not something that was just regularly done in any other Power Rangers. This particular universe, I guess, that they live in,
so that's
is
interesting.
really good at contacting other universes by comparison to others.
But also, beyond that, this was not a connection to past continuity that was rooted in past continuity emerging and coming to them. This was them seeking it out, which I cannot remember off the top of my head the last time that was done.
Yeah, it's not like old Power Rangers came back because their old villain suddenly walked in or something like that. This was literally, it's like, we need something from the past for our current problem. And we have it in the closet.
Like, I'm hard pressed to think of an example of that, like, prior to since prior to Turbo, I'm trying to think, and I think like the last time they did something like that was probably Zeo, when they actually used like technology from a previous season to assist them in their problem, and that was the source of the previous continuity reference.
Back in Zeo, wouldn't most of that technology just have been something Billy still had
Exactly.
laying around?
It was just Billy still had the old tech, or Alpha still had some old tech. It was something that they had used
using the command
before.
center. It was their own stuff.
It was still their own stuff. Exactly.
This isn't even their own stuff.
But we haven't. But this is very different.
It was a much tighter continuity. Exactly, Athena.
That was, Power Rangers has never done anything like that, and it was handled in such a naturalistic, this is just how this universe is kind of way.
I mean, yes. Yes, Hasbro said they bought all these toys and we want to play with them.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
also,
they bought this universe and they're playing with it.
Our minds are a little bit blown, yes.
Oh, man. Like, you look at, like, Power Rangers in Space handled things very well. They had past characters, but it was, we saw the past character emerge, and the Rangers reconnected with them, and that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you look at Dino Thunder. It just had the one past character, and we saw him as he had evolved, but he was the one driving the plot, and any references we saw to the past were really just sort of Easter eggs relating to his character.
It's true.
You look at other references, like let's say SPD. We got little offhanded things that were just like name drops, or visual drops, or costume recycling, things like that.
Or Kelson recycling.
Kelson recycling. That's fair. And then, like, in Overdrive, the Defender Vest armor was powered by Fireheart's scale. Like, that's one of the closest things, but that's one of those things where it wasn't relevant to the plot, really, that it was Fireheart.
We do love our Kelson.
It just happened, it was just a nice Easter egg, where, it's, again, a name drop.
I have a feeling this might be the start of a lot of continuity nods, because the chat keeps telling us to hold on to our hats for the next few weeks.
Yeah. I knew this stuff was coming, but I didn't know really to what extent and how it was going to be handled. Like, we knew that Dr. K was coming.
Yes.
But we didn't know it was going to be handled in this way.
That was a cute little cameo.
It was. It was a great little cameo. And it was handled as just a great little cameo. The sort of cameo that we never really get.
Well, and she is back in New Zealand now, so.
There we go. Oh, man. Well, I knew that she was coming back. I knew that part, but I didn't know the circumstances. Oh, man.
Next time is a two-parter, and it might be worth it to watch back-to-back.
I want to keep these as separate videos. There's going to be plenty to talk about, I'm sure. But yeah, this episode, the episode itself was solid. It handled its plot well. It left things open for future exploration that I hope get followed up on. I'm not necessarily convinced it will be followed up upon, but I hope it will. Specifically, I want to see what Evox had been up to in Mayor Daniels' body. He doesn't know. Mayor Daniels does not know what Evox did while he was controlling his body. Also, like, I know, it's awkward.
I can't say anything I'm thinking on this stream.
I know.
Family friendly here.
I'm just...
Fran would be a fun.
That would be fun. Somebody saying Fran make a cameo in Dino Fury. That would be fun.
Maybe they order pizza and she delivers it. That would be cute.
But this is the sort of thing...
This is on par with the Marvel TV series episodes, crossing over series.
Yeah, that's very fair. That is true.
A low-level crossover, because a lot of times they'll
like
have,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would do
Yeah.
things like this. We haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in forever.
Oh, we're so behind on Agents.
We left off in season 3. We should get back to that.
Behind on that.
But, oh man. My brain.
Which is better, this or Dimensions in Danger?
I mean, Dimensions in Danger was...
Dimensions in Danger was pretty cool.
Was a good, solid crossover. But this is just not sort of night and day in that regard, just because the goals are different. Dimensions in Danger was a good, solid crossover that really repaired a lot of stuff with continuity in many regards.
Yes.
It had its flaws. And it was very exciting. It was a big, singular celebration, and that's not what this was. But what this did was open up storytelling for the rest of the series in a way that a crossover, generally speaking, wouldn't. With the exception of things like Power of Pink, obviously. Which you know, this is not Power of Pink. This is something where I feel like I'm going to have to see where it goes from here to really gauge it in proper context. I need to see the proper context of how this, what this has properly introduced. Because I feel like it has introduced, some possibilities that are
I feel like
really
I'm
cool.
A little spoiled on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because
I know, stuff's dropped.
I follow Clark
It's been
Gregg on
years.
Insta.
But, oh man.
How would you rank Samurai, Megaforce, Overdrive, and Ninja Steel? Well, Overdrive's at the bottom.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by how do we rank them. Are we talking about quality or enjoyment? Because those are two different things. Because out of those four, I would say that Overdrive was probably the best produced, but it was probably but it was also probably the least enjoyable.
It was so frustrating.
I would say that
frustrating.
Like if we're talking about
silly or stupid, but Overdrive was frustrating.
If we were talking about originality, Samurai would be at the bottom. If we're talking about
true facts.
If we're talking about, you know, quality of production, Megaforce is at the bottom. I don't think that I'd necessarily rank Ninja Steel at the bottom in any of those. But it's also, I wouldn't say at the top on any of those either.
But if we're just doing plain, like, nobody gave you a scale objectiveness.
Yeah.
Personally, I would still put Overdrive at the bottom.
Right.
Because my inclination is to rate on how much I actually enjoyed watching it.
That's very fair.
And I didn't enjoy watching it. They
were breaking everything.
Overdrive, the big problem with Overdrive was that it had some very... It had some core frustration issues.
It was a never-ending conga line of great job breaking it, hero.
But it was also... Here's another thing. Overdrive came before all of those. By the time we got to Ninja Steel, expectations were lowered.
That too.
If Ninja Steel, in many regards, is on par with has very similar problems to Overdrive, very similar problems.
Mm-hmm.
But it also came after Overdrive and after Samurai and after Megaforce, when the expectations for the show were no longer at the same level. Overdrive.
Why would you say that?
Came after like Mystic Force was, you know, a mid-tier season. SPD and Dino Thunder were very good. So Power Rangers was still in pretty good shape when it hit Overdrive, and Overdrive was just such a drop in quality in the quality of storytelling. specifically from a tone standpoint. Like, it was decently structured for what it was trying to do, but I didn't like what it was trying to do. It was an extremely linear structure of storytelling, in such a way that it was repetitive, but not repetitive in the way that Power Rangers is traditionally repetitive. Power Rangers is traditionally repetitive in terms of structure. You have a
What was right before Operation Overdrive?
Mystic Force.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I mean, it was, like you said, mid-tier.
Mid-tier.
I'm not sure that was a tough act to follow, especially after the third act.
but it did have plenty of other seasons prior to that, and I mean the middle of Mystic Force is pretty solid.
Oh, the middle of Mystic Force was great. It was the end.
Yeah, it had a mid-tier first act, solid middle act, and sloppy third act. That's how I always think of Mystic Force. But Overdrive, the problem was that its serialization aspects were repetitive, in a way that didn't really fit the story it was telling. Because it was always, oh, this clue leads to that clue, this clue leads to that clue,
They
this
had a
clue
whole
leads to
clip
that
show
clue.
where they
but not in a
completely forgot
creative
what they
way.
were doing and had to go over it again.
So that serialization was just always, it was the same thing. There was not really a change up as far as how the clue aspect of it was structured. It was always just, this points to the next thing. And it wouldn't make sense, but it wouldn't make sense for it to be that way because they were looking for 5 different gems that were not explicitly hidden in specific ways that would lend itself. There was not an in-universe reason for that linear. I don't know. I may be making up a word. That
I
linear
hope
nature.
the best twist you're talking about is not that Mac's a robot.
I also did not like how that twist was handled because they overplayed their hands on the foreshadowing, which ended up spoiling the actual reveal. For me personally.
One episode before it happened.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that where you literally spoiled a reveal for your own show the episode before you were planning the reveal. Like, why would you do that? That's just such a weird thing to do. And it was also frustrating because it felt like a very cliche reveal, and it was one that did not really connect to the world of the show. There was nothing about artificial intelligence that entire first 25 episodes prior to the reveal. So suddenly making the show about that was very strange. And I recognized, yeah, it was foreshadowed, yeah, they did lead up to it. There was some interesting aspects of explorations of self there.
And then they wrecked it with the Halloween episode.
But the thing is, at that point, I had lost my investment in the characters. I had lost my investment in the show. And so, although they did ask some interesting questions, they asked them so late in the game that after the game had already basically been spoiled.
Why can't Toei hire a girl to record the theme song? Why is it always a guy? Well,
That's a good
Toei
question.
doesn't.
It's not. It's not Toei. It's Hasbro.
Hasbro.
But that would be cool to get to have a different voice really for.
Yeah.
Because we had a
Overdrive
female
did
singer.
have way too many villains.
We had a female singer
Although,
in the background for
villain
Grid Defense.
infighting was one of the cooler part about that.
Except that was also not well utilized. Not really. There were a lot of problems with Overdrive. And it was a season that did attempt to make some references to the past that were in certain regards handled.
I got real hyped for Rose at the beginning,
reasonably
and then
well.
she really disappointed me.
Yeah.
I was expecting a lot more, like, brains and gadgeteering out of her.
I have heard some of those scrap
partway
themes. I
through.
forget if I've heard all of them because there's been a lot of things over the years. But I believe I've heard at least one scrap theme for each of those. I don't recall them off the top of my head anymore because it's been a few years. But this is if this is what sets the tone of the back half of the Beast Morphers Season 2 episodes.
We're here for it.
This has just opened up so much discussion. I'm excited. I'm intrigued. This is the sort, like, remember how my reaction was to the finale of Season 1. I was excited and intrigued, and now we're halfway through Season 2, and I am once again excited and intrigued. And I like that. I haven't had Power Rangers do that for me in so long. I'm genuinely shocked. Like, there have been moments. There have been plenty of moments where Power Rangers has got me, you know, I'm like, oh, this could be exciting and intriguing, and I've almost always been let down.
Not this time.
For the last 10 years. And
Pardon.
this is actually following up on things in a really interesting way. And teasing things out in a really interesting way. Like,
It's been
I
84
see,
years.
considering how people have been reacting to the back half of these episodes, that was another reason that I wanted to check them out. Because I had not seen the fan base so excited about a final run of episodes for any season in the last 10 years.
Chris, the Wasserman cut was one of the rejected ones.
Yes. That's what he was referring to.
He was referring to one of the rejected ones, because we were talking about the rejected ones. It's been 84 years. Is that a reference to something?
Titanic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. No, let's see. Overdrive was not great because half the Rangers were stupid and oblivious except for Pink, which made her boring. And the funny thing is the Pink was supposed to be some sort of super genius, but when they dumbed the whole cast down, everybody else was an idiot and she was just regular intelligence.
Yeah. Also she, well, it was also just the way that they handled her intelligence was very strange. Rose's intelligence was handled.
It came and went.
Well, the weird thing about it was, like, she was established early on as never wrong, and then there was never an episode in which she had to deal with being wrong, and that's, like, such a natural character beat to go for. It's weird that they didn't.
It's true.
Much like the infallibility of the judgment scanner on the SPD Morpher.
Exactly. At the end, she was inconsistent. It came and it went. She was smart and then she wasn't.
The thing that really turned me off from Rose was the episode she had with Taizan where she became smart because she wanted to feel special. And that's not how intelligence works. Like, I know...
That's how knowledge works.
That's how knowledge
works.
works.
You can obtain more knowledge.
But you do...
But you don't become more intelligent.
But you don't just become...
She was a literal super genius the way she was portrayed in the first episode, and that's just not something you can...
That's not something you can force your way through. Now, like you can work very hard.
Dr. K, Billy, and Rose,
they
are born with a little something.
And you know, different people, there's always... And I don't want to, you know, play into the whole thing of, oh, some people are just smarter than others, etc., etc. That's not... Because there's always... You have certain strengths and certain weaknesses. Usually, if you have considerable strengths in one regard, you usually have weaknesses in other regards. You know, and that is usually the nature of being on the autism spectrum, which they got to explore with Billy in the 2017 movie. As I've established before through my videos, I personally identify in the autism spectrum. As we've established, I am rather intelligent, but I do have struggles with other things in day-to-day life as a result of that. Socializing is something that I had to work for very, very hard.
Yes.
Nate is someone who is also a brilliant character, but he had to really work on social skills, and you can see that those are things that he needs to work on.
Rose doesn't seem to have that problem, though.
Yeah, Rose at no point was presented as having something else that she had to work on. It was just she decided to become a super genius, and then she was one.
We do need a non-blonde Yellow Ranger. We haven't had one in a very long time.
Yeah, it's strange. they've
They're
made it
all
tradition
blonde
now.
lately. It's getting a little bit.
They turned it into a tradition. Basically, Overdrive onward,
Yeah, since SPD.
it's been a tradition. Not since SPD, because Chip was a redhead.
Chip was a redhead.
He's been the only exception.
Oh, what the next one
So-
we're
so
adapting
Overdrive
doesn't
is the last
doesn't have yellow.
That's right. Yeah, because they used the Kyryuger colors in Ryusoldier. Ryusoldier didn't have a yellow.
That's true.
They
They only had one girl.
And I mean,
Are we gonna have another Trini situation?
I don't know.
They
We
only have one
we
girl?
haven't seen that level of casting information yet.
Well, what I'm just saying is that when I think about it,
Will they cross cast? Yeah.
Power Rangers hasn't done a season with only one girl where they've had more than 3 Rangers. No, wait, they start with only 3 in this one, don't they?
Well, they do start with only 3, yes.
Okay.
Um,
Well, no, then that could work because RPM didn't have.
well, the thing is,
Until
this would be
Gemma.
the first time where, even with additional Rangers,
They don't make 2 girls.
they don't get a second girl.
Well, they could do
Um,
something with. They could make an original Ranger.
Yeah.
As a counterpoint to Oto, since she
Yeah.
does wind up driving P10 at some point.
I'd be down for Toa becoming being changed to a female character
That would work too. I was just thinking they could add a Cyan Ranger too if they wanted to, because of P10.
if they want to, yeah. But yeah, that would be interesting then. So yeah, it will be interesting to see if we only have one female Ranger next time, because that hasn't happened in quite a few years.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking right now.
When was the last time we only had one female Ranger? It
Ina
was
says Wild
Kira.
Force?
Wild Force was the last time we did a crosscast, where a character who's
Yeah, but
who's
Dino.
male.
Oh, Kira from Dino.
Kira from Dino Thunder was the last time that we had only one female Ranger on the entire team,
And that was another case
and that
of
was full
starting
team.
with 3.
I'm talking full team.
And then they had 2 secondary Rangers.
Yeah.
They had black and white.
Yeah. So yeah, this just kind of opened. Just by virtue of having the Dr. K cameo in here, that just kind of totally shifted the tone of this live reaction into just a discussion of Power Rangers history, which always ends up causing these things to run a bit longer.
Sorry. But you know what?
Oh.
We've been doing movies for a couple of weeks, so I'm sure some of the audience is used to us being running
we've
down.
had long ones, but oh man, I'm
Oh, a goth girl Black Ranger would be cool too.
that would be cool. It would be I think
it would go with Bomba's attitude.
yeah, I think stature-wise, Toa is probably more likely, but it would be interesting if they went with Bomba instead. To have the sort of like how they handled how Katie was handled in Time Force, even though it was obvious that the Green Ranger was the smaller Ranger and would have made
Jungle Fury.
felt more natural that way. Jungle Fury. How did I forget Jungle Fury? I'm sorry. Jungle Fury was the
Dyron,
last
thank
time.
you.
Unless you count Camille,
Or
which we shouldn't.
or Master Gwyn.
How did I skip over Jungle Fury? Thank you for reminding me. Well, and that's double shame on me for forgetting Jungle Fury, considering what our next episode of Power Reviews
It's not
is.
Photoshop when you do it to video.
Oh man,
It's
close enough. That's the colloquialism.
You're right. Skirts are not necessary. SPD
That's
didn't
true.
have them on the girls.
That's true.
Beast Morphers
The
only
Trini
has
didn't
one
have
female so far. The show we're watching.
That's true.
We forgot about the show
How
we're
did we
watching.
forget the show we're watching? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me?
The
Okay,
show
okay,
we're
I will-
watching only has one female ranger.
Oh man, I'm just awful right now. Oh man. This episode fried my brain, and
So
the heat is
badly.
frying my brain. I swear, I do know the things about the Power Rangers. I didn't just come up with the name Database Ranger for no reason.
Doesn't SPD have the most female Rangers?
Yes.
If you're counting Nova and...
If you're counting Nova and Cat Ranger,
Cat
yes.
Ranger, yes.
Because that one had 4. And
You
actually,
do get
they
Vector K
had
all over the brain.
in Deca Ranger, there was actually, for a split second in a movie, a 10th Ranger that was a female Gold Ranger.
RPM had 2 once you include
Yeah,
Gem
yellow
and
and silver.
Gemma.
Yep. So, yeah, I can't believe I forgot about the show we're watching. And I forgot about the show that I'm releasing a review of. How did I forget both of those?
I don't know.
What's wrong with me?
It's my fault. I'm the one who brought it up and went, wait, is this the first time we're only going to have one girl?
It seems to happen... Okay, so, you know what? I will amend this. I'm going to amend... No, this will be the first time that we have had a Power Rangers season with 6 core cast members, only one of which are female, since Ninja Storm. 6, like...
Oh, you're right, because we've got 5 in this one.
Because
only 4
the Spirit Rangers were auxiliary Rangers. They weren't part of the main cast. Here we only have 5 Rangers. And
yes, the Volt thing broke his brain.
And in Dino Thunder we only had 5 Rangers. So this would be the... Actually, correction. Even more specifically, Dino Fury would be the only season outside of Ninja Storm to have 6
Rangers.
To have 6 core Rangers and only one of them be a girl. Because that has not happened. Kendall was part of the main cast. I would say Kendall was part of the main cast, and she was a Ranger. So I'm giving Kendall the benefit of that. Like, I'm not counting the Spirit Rangers because they were treated as guest stars.
Beast Morphers has 5 Rangers.
It has 5 Rangers right now.
Yeah.
Unless there's another one coming. Oh man, I'm just so fried by this episode.
So fried.
I was delightfully surprised. I'm looking forward to more. We should probably wrap this up.
We should.
I will say that I would still love to if Hasbro doesn't get around to it, I would love to do a Q Ranger adaptation and make Oshi Black be a female.
Technically,
Ranger.
Steel has worn a dress.
Technically, Steel has worn a dress. So we
yes.
said before we have 3 non-controversial statements to start with. For the end, and again, if you guys know these 3 in the chat, I know we've only done them twice before.
Us if you like.
Feel free to join in with us. Those 3 equally non-controversial statements are: love is love, trans rights are human rights, and robots are cool.
Cool. Robots
Superheroes
are cool.
are fun. Robots are cool. There we go. So with that, I think it's good to wrap things up. I'm gonna be editing this for proper release tomorrow.
You'll see Jake in the Discord afterwards, as per usual.
Thank you for this birthday gift. This was a birthday gift to myself, but I'm glad that you guys were able to join in on this with me. And I'll make sure to I'll be on the Power Ranger Discord. So if you want to chat with me on Discord, feel free to say hi. And we look forward to continuing this next week with the next episode of Beast Morphers. And I'm not going to look at what's coming up next. I'm looking forward to being surprised. So until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday to you.